Hi, I'm Jess Wreford and I'm running for the position of VP Support. Okay, so why am I running for VP Support? Basically, through my years at university, I've found an absolute passion for supporting people. I've learned that actually I've had a few struggles myself and I've had to use the support services, so I kind of know what it feels like on a personal level to need support, and so I feel like I'm relatable to students, and I just really want to help. Okay, so the Centre for Wellbeing is something which is one of the things that I've personally been involved with, but I think that a lot of people are unsure of what actually it involves and all the different things that it has going on. Like, it's not just mental health, it's not just exam stress, it's not just these things, and there seems to be a bit of a stigma about exactly what it has to offer, and it has so much to offer. One of the things on my manifesto is that I want to run a campaigning week kind of explaining those things. Also, I think peer mentors, I think they could be a really important thing. I know they're already used in the vet school, but I think they should be brought forward to all courses. I know we have personal tutors, but sometimes they can't relate to us on a personal level, and it's really good to have kind of someone in the year above you who's already done the same course, the same modules, that you can kind of talk to and be like, oh, what's your advice on this? Yeah, and I just think a kind of buddy would be really good. Another one of my things on my manifesto is social media. I've been personally involved in social media quite a lot, and I think it could be a really valuable source of kind of getting support out there in a sort of more quiet sense. Like, some people don't really want to come forward and they just want this daily oh, that's made me feel better, just like motivation, some kind of well-being tips, just more like dedicated support zone social media. And then the final thing that I would really want to do is food and health, which is something that I've been involved in as a nutrition student. I'm really passionate about it, but when I came to university, I had no idea what to eat. I didn't know what these easy kind of meals, and even just like a poster on the wall in halls, just like with a few easy meals to start off as a student, I think would be so helpful. So yeah, those are my 4 points. It's interesting because I've been through a lot of different sports clubs, a lot of different societies, and I've kind of really evolved and changed as a person. I can be completely honest and say I reckon in my first and second year I was relatively selfish. I kind of was just enjoying myself, loving life, going out, doing swimming, and then in my at the end of my second year, my third year when I was on placement, I started to begin to feel like I sort of didn't belong a bit, and that's where I was struggling the most. And so that's where I kind of relate, is where I have struggled, but I've also been in a position where I haven't. So I know what it feels like not to, but to struggle with the little things, but I know what it feels like to struggle a lot. So I hope that I can help on both sides of the situation, really. Yeah, 100%. I think Koyen, as VP Support, has done some amazing campaigning weeks, and her videos I think have been incredibly motivational, and the response has been amazing, and that's definitely something I want to continue. I think visual things are very eye-catching, and putting them onto social media, that is definitely somewhere that we need to utilise in terms of support. As well as all the VP activity, VP voice, and VP community, and the union president. I just think everything that they've done, they've worked as a team this year. I was even talking to someone the other day, and we were saying that it seems to have become more of a teamwork thing as the SABs have gone this year. It's definitely they've become a 5 rather than separate roles, and I really hope to continue that if I'm elected. I think it's accommodation. The problem is we're climbing the ladder as a university. We're way up there, and we're letting in more and more students every year. But do we actually have the resources to let in more and more students? For example, the Centre for Wellbeing, that's had an increase in 34% over the past semester or something, and it's just we're letting on so many students and we're climbing up and we're great and the student experience is amazing, but if we don't have the resources or the accommodation to kind of support that, I think that's the biggest issue, and I think that's something that will need to be worked on a lot next year. And although it's not actually in my manifesto, it's because it's such a big deal, I know it's there, and that is something that I really hope to help with. Specific plans. It's difficult because obviously it requires a lot of money, a lot of funding, and you'd have to go to kind of higher powers to figure that out. And I think there are plans to be building more accommodation at Manor Park, and I've spoken to Rotimi, who's the director of the Centre for Wellbeing, and I think just any help that the Students' Union can give in terms of increasing resources for the students, that's where hopefully will help. But I think it's I think hopefully like next year we'll be able to go into more detail on how we can increase like resources and accommodation, but for now it's just kind of trying to make sure that people know that there's going to be, and there will be a specific plan, but it's just getting those ideas out there. Definitely love to work with the community zone and VP community in terms of that. I know that Saskia has actually done quite a lot already. They've gone to a lot of meetings, so has Coyen, in terms of kind of housing and the situation we're in. And I won't lie, like, it is a really difficult situation, the housing, the resources, and it will be difficult to overcome. But I really hope next year that we can do it. If I'm elected, I hope to help.